Welcome to the Smart CEO Smart Chat. I am Kyra Hardwick, and I am thrilled to be here with you. Thanks for tuning in. We hope that this episode will be an incredible influence on the way that you do the work that you do every day. So whether you're a smart CEO, working from home, working from the office, simply navigating your life and family, whatever it is, today's the day you made a great decision to tune into our podcast and get this smart talk. So let's dig in.
Welcome back to yet another episode of the SmartCEO Podcast. I am today's host, Alena Conley, and I am the program manager of the SmartCEO Capacity Builder cohort. I am also the senior director of coaching and people development at the Kyra Company. And today I am joined by Brayonna Harris. She is the founder of First Step to Greatness. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
We are so happy to have you in this conversation today, and we were so excited to have you a part of this cohort. But let's just jump right into learning a little bit about your journey. So how did you decide that you wanted to step into the lane of entrepreneurship compared to taking more of a traditional 9-to-5 route?
It started off as working with my aunt as early as 14 years old. She had a childcare center, and I was helping her every step of the way. Every time I could get a moment, I would want to go to her childcare and help out with the baby. And fast forward, at 19 years old, I had a stroke and a couple brain surgeries and all of the things. And I knew that once I recovered, I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to working. I was in the pharmaceutical industry. And so I talked to my mom, and at 21, we started the child care center at home for 10 years. I always told my aunt that I would not do child care in home for more than 10 years. So then we took the step. I went to the pizza place to pick my babies up some pizza, and I seen a building that said for lease. So we called, we went and did a walkthrough, and I've been at this current center for the last 7 years, and we're currently building a new center. So I've been in business and entrepreneurship for the last 17 years. So it's been a journey.
Wow, that is a journey, and wow, a stroke and 2 brain surgeries. So let's go back to that. When we think about, for a lot of people, when they go into entrepreneurship, they have similar stories of either, I didn't find entrepreneurship found me, or I was up against a wall and had to figure it out, got laid off, or my health was being challenged in a corporate environment. I was stressed, I was burned out. I know for me, when I was in corporate, I found out I had ulcers in my stomach. I was 21 years old, and I was like, this is not sustainable, because it does, for many people, take a toll on their health. But for you at 19, that's such a young age. What was that experience like? And how do you then take something so traumatic and almost use that as fuel to do something so impactful?
At 19 years old, when it happened, I was in college. I was attending Arizona State University, going to school for nursing. So it's like a not totally different rim area, but I was going for nursing. So I had all of that go on. And if I didn't have an amazing support system, it may have been a different journey. I don't know if I would be here today. I definitely have an amazing support system. For me, taking that next step, it was scary, right? Before I quit my job, I did start the center, and I did it for about a month. My mom was helping run it while I go to work in the daytime. I cut my hours back, things of that nature. But again, I would have to say my support system is awesome. And I just thank God for them, because that is a struggle, right? A lot of people don't have a support system as I have. So I'm just so grateful for that. I am.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you always worked with your aunt and you love the babies. What do you think it is about this particular field that has always drawn you to it?
I think just being able to help families and I've been put up against a lot of different scenarios. I'm currently in the process of starting a fundraiser to fund a scholarship for parents that can't afford quality childcare, that doesn't qualify for state assistance for whatever reason. But I see a lot of families that are struggling with being able to get their children in childcare. And I think early childhood education is very important. So I push at least by one, let's try to get them some type of interaction. So just seeing parents struggle, single mothers, single fathers, grandmothers raising their children, I believe that's what fuels me the most because it just pulls on the heartstrings. So I love my industry. I don't see myself getting burnt out. Every day is a new day, but it is work. It's work. But when you love what you do, it's more of a passion for me, should I say.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to say thank you because I am definitely one of those parents who early childhood has been a cost on my family. Like I have 4 children, but I had them every 2 years, right? 2 special needs kids. And so to your point, especially for the middle class, if you don't qualify for those stipends, I always tell people you either got to be astronomically rich to have kids or you got to be poor. And so for me, it was like, okay, I'm gonna just have to stop working to start qualifying for some stuff. And fortunately, I did go to some environments that had, like you said, scholarships for those that were in the middle, but I've also been on the receiving end of state funded support. And when I talk to case managers and just the level of support that they have given me in times of need, I can't even tell you like how good that felt to know, okay, while I'm working, my babies are going to be able to get what they need, right? Because during the pandemic, I had kids sitting at home just in front of the TV when I'm trying to homeschool and work. So it's just one of those things that we can't forget about when it comes to that early childhood development because there's so much research out there that shows that it's necessary. But one thing that I do know is, that your industry as a business model is very challenging because when it comes to being able to run the business effectively, pay staff what they're worth, make a profit. And I know these things because one of my closest friends just opened an early learning center and I was one of her consultants. And she just told me like this industry is really tough. And then I had the opportunity to go to some local events here in Georgia where there was a lot of advocacy around trying to increase the pay for early childhood teachers because they're not paid like elementary school teachers, even though many of them have multiple degrees. And so I was on one call one time where there was this lady and she was like, I have 2 master degrees. I'm in a doctorate program and I am on food stamps to feed my own children while I'm taking care of other people's kids because the state still looks at me as a babysitter. And when we think about the state of where we are in really recognizing early childhood development as not only a need for our children, but also supporting the workforce. But then for you as a business owner, thinking about those things when you're trying to scale your business, how have you been able to manage that when it comes to profitability, which is one of the things that we really focus on in the cohort?
I've been able to manage it. I have an amazing team. And like, for example, scheduling, that's a big thing. I have a staff of of 20 early childhood teachers. So it's all based on enrollment and the ratios needed in each classroom. So for a little while, I was scheduling in a certain 3-year-old classroom, like just couldn't get it right. So I also have a business consultant, and I'm like, hey, what should I do or could I do to get the scheduling in this one classroom? So using your resources is huge. Having a good team has been phenomenal for me. And the early childhood industry, I am a part of a few different organizations that offer the support, whether it's a coach. I'm a part of Quality First Things First program here in Arizona, and they provide so many different supports. I think that in each industry, that if you tap into the support, then it helps you along the way. So I've had a lot of assistance along the way. I've learned a lot along the way. And it's been a smooth journey for me, Alena. It's been pretty smooth.
That's good to hear. And that's very encouraging, because I think that, especially with something that's in high demand, to be able to think about, okay, how can we take advantage of scalability is exactly what listeners do want to hear, those success stories. And one of the things I remember when we were reviewing applications, and one of the bankers from JP Morgan was familiar with you, but she was excited about your expansion. And so this particular cohort, for those of you all who are listening, is specifically for those business owners that are in growth stage and expansion. So meaning there has been a level of success achieved, and now we're looking to scale. And so talk to me a little bit about where you all are going now. I heard you said that you're opening a new center. So what does it look like to take something that is growing rapidly and try to scale it to the next level?
It is nerve-wracking. Let's start there. But my journey of scaling, let's start with the financial part. Financially, I was awarded a SBA loan. So it took a lot to get there, having the correct accountant, CPA, making sure my numbers were right, the whole application process. So going through that first was a journey, but we got through it, and I was awarded the funds. So now that I have the funds, now it is dealing with the contractors. So that's a whole nother journey. So it's been very busy. It keeps me extremely busy, on my toes. I cannot say that it's been the easiest process, because you don't know what you don't know. You're leaning on others that are professionals in that specific space, like my general contractor, right? So I'm dealing with that. And my mom is a real estate broker, so she's more hands-on with that portion of it. But for me, I love doing the cohorts. I learned so much in them. As far as where we're going for the community, it's going to be a big deal. I have so many partnerships with the local schools in the area, with the library in the area, with doctors' offices. So I have a vision to scale the business to make it more of it's going to be an early childhood learning center, but I want to provide community services as well. So attached to the building, we'll have a clinic for the community. I have been talking with different pediatricians and things of that nature to get that sector together.
That goes back to that nursing passion.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? Tapping into that, having an in-house clinic. I think that's going to be amazing. But with scaling, I will be doubling the amount of children. So that's another portion that's not scary, but I'm interested to see how that goes as far as marketing. I'm one that hasn't had to market, because I am pretty much, I know the community knows of me, and my goal is to be a household name. as far as childcare goes. So I haven't had to market. So now that's the part that I'm a little nervous about. That's not my realm, but I do know how to get out there and get the assistance that I need because I can't do everything. We often tend to wear all the hats in our business, but I'm learning to delegate. Alena, that's hard for me.
Sure.
But I'm learning to delegate, and I've met some amazing people in this cohort that I can tap into to get the assistance that I need because I know my rim, and that is not it. Marketing, that's one of it's so hard. It's hard, but I think it's more time consuming for me to use those that I know and support their businesses. I'm excited to do that. So come January, I plan to just take off with my promotions and more of that.
Yeah. So when we think about some of the pillars from this cohort, we have things like collaboration, we have bankability, supply chain readiness. Was there anything, even out of the sessions in the last 6 weeks, that you feel like really just hit a home run for you in terms of really landing on what really resonated with you for you and your business?
For me and my business, I want to say that each session I received a gem, even from cybersecurity, because I'm like, oh, I don't really use anything that I would need cybersecurity. But once it was broken down in the session, I'm like, okay,
You're like, I need that.
need
Her.
like this hasn't been on my radar. And again, Alena, and all the other cohorts that I've been in, I've never had someone come touch on cybersecurity. And then I'm like,
Especially when you think about just the state of our world when it comes to children's safety, right? Like I go to board meetings now for public school, and that's all they're talking about is security. And they say that the next big attack is going to be cyber, right? So it's like we have to start looking at safety, starting with cyber as well. So when she was on there, I was just like y'all, wow, we've been sleeping on this.
and it's so many of us in the cohort that are in different industries, and I'm sure majority of us felt, oh, we don't need cybersecurity. It's not a thing.
Companies, yeah.
Like, it's not a thing. Why do I need that in real estate? Why do things like that? But so that was a major game changer for me, the cybersecurity one. But each session I have received a gem, and when we do the breakout sessions, I've spoke to so many amazing people. The ones that are here in Arizona, I've made partnerships with, and we have some things that we're cooking up as we speak. Like I said, I'm creating different programs for the future, but I want to start them now in my current center. So I'm just excited about just the collaboration portion of it as well. So yeah, just be on the lookout, Alena. We have some things going on.
I feel like one of the things that I really liked about this one was that the collaboration was like real time. Like I felt, especially with the Arizona people, you guys are on and you were like, come in. I'm like, I love this for y'all.
Yes.
Okay, somebody's listening right now. Say it's 2 months from now and we're getting ready to open up our next round of applications and they're trying to decide if this would be a good fit for them. What would be your advice to them or something that you would share about the program?
I would have to say, again, the SmartCEO Accelerator has been different than my previous accelerator programs. And I'm one that signs up for everything, Alena. I sign up for everything. I do so many different cohorts, so many different programs. And it's just what I love to do. And I would advise everybody to, if you can get into one, get into it because you always learn new things. So I would say to apply prayerfully, you get accepted, and you get to learn all the gems that I was able to learn, get all the connections, and to just create that professional development for yourself in entrepreneurship.
Wonderful. We are wishing you the best of success. We look forward to seeing you in the headlines of the Arizona Times or whatever y'all have, and seeing all the wonderful pictures from the opening day. So you'll have to keep us in touch on all of those things. And we appreciate all of your consistency this year. For those of you all that are listening, if you are in the Arizona area and you also want to connect with Brayonna, you can get in touch with her by joining our SmartCEO community, which is our Mighty Network community that is open to everyone who becomes a member. So just visit thesmartceos.com to learn more. Brayonna, thank you again. And we look forward to seeing all of you out on the other side. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, Alena.
Thanks for listening to Smart Chat. Smart CEOs, you are on your way. We hope this episode has been fantastic for you. We are excited that you were here. So here's the deal. Follow us on all of our social media, look up the Kyra Company, and join us on all of our private platforms. We invite you to join our private Facebook group at the Smart CEOs. Jump in, join the conversation, and learn more about what we can do every day to grow our business and grow our community. Thanks so much for joining us. We're excited that you were here. Once again, I'm Kyra Hardwick, and you know it. I was thrilled to bring the Smart Chat to you. Take care. Talk to you soon.